Well, hello and welcome to this series that we're going to do. In this series, we're going to make us a little in-scale windmill. And this is what the end product will look like. And don't forget, down below I always leave some links if you want to learn Sketchup and you're just beginning. Brooke Godfrey is a great place to start. If you want to get the STL extension to go with your Sketchup, go to the extension warehouse and download it, and Google how to install an extension if you don't already know how, because you'll need the STL extension to be able to print things. And the free version of SketchUp is no longer available from SketchUp, but CNET still has it if you want to go download it there. At least at the making of this video, it was still available there. So you might want to run over there and grab a copy before it disappears permanently. But of course, you can always subscribe to it if you go to SketchUp. I think it's about 10 or 20 a month, depending on what level you go in. But anyway, this is the little windmill that we're going to do. But let's draw something, okay? Now, here's the first trick we're going to have to learn right off the bat is how to splay these legs. And let me show you the easiest way I have come up with. Now, we're going to have, back to our notes, we're going to have a base that's going to be 12 foot. I call that a surface to work on. It really won't, we'll turn it off after we get through with everything, but we got to start somewhere. So we're going to have that base at 12 feet square, 24 millimeters square. And the platform that up at the top that the fan will rest on will be a 4 foot platform, or 8 millimeters square. So let me show you how I come by that. And that that platform has to be absolutely in the center of your surface on the bottom here. Let me just start drawing. So let's grab our rectangle tool. Go in here and just pull out, click and start your process. Okay, now, this is not click and drag. You just click and start, and now you can type. If you look down here where it says dimensions, I've made this a little bigger on the video so you can see down here real easy. But anyway, if I type in, we want that to be 24 feet square. Since I'm working in millimeters, I'm set to the template that uses millimeters, so I don't have to type 24 mm. I just type 24. It knows that I'm doing millimeters. So 24, and our times is a comma. And the reason for that is there's a times command in SketchUp, and we will use that in today's episode. But anyway, for right now, 24, comma, 24, and then hit your enter, and watch what happens. See? All of a sudden. Now, I like for my faces to be the light color, so hit your selector key, click once, right click, reverse faces. See how that turned a little bit lighter color? In fact, if I turn it up, it's actually more white than anything. All right, now, what we want to do is we want to select that, just lasso the whole thing. Come over here and let's get our offset tool. Now, let's do a little math right quick. If this is 24 millimeters square, and we want our platform to be 8, if we subtract 8 from 24, that leaves us 16. Now, we want half of that on this side and half of that on this side, so half of 16 is 8. Let's go in, click, and start to move your mouse and type in 8. All right. Now, because we did it this way, that platform is dead square in the middle of this surface here. Now, what we want to do right off the bat, at this point, lasso all of that again, right click, and go make group. The reason you want to do that is because anything you draw on here will stick to this, and this becomes part of the new object if you don't do that. and you really want to do that. But here's another thing we want to do. If you don't know about your layers tab, you really want to get used to this. See your default tray? Come over here at your window, where it says under window, default tray, and you can select a number of palettes to go in there. But to keep it simple, all we're going to use today is the entity info and the layers. And I've already set mine up over here. Now, here's where your layers are. We're going to call this, just call it surface, because it's not going to have any function when it's all over with. But anyway, add layer and type in surface. Okay, now when you do that, if you go up here and click your drop down where it says layers, you will see surface. Click that and it assigns this. And the way you know you've done it right is to turn it off. All right, you're starting to see the power of layers already. See, I can turn that off. I can get it out of the way. I can do whatever I want to with it. I can actually delete it if I want to. All right, so now that this can't stick to anything, let's take our rectangle tool and let's draw this inner box again. Okay, now this is a separate entity from this, and we want to make this, let's pull that up. Okay, our push-pull tool, this is, to make sure that's active, just click on it, okay? Now come over to your push-pull tool and let's pull up 1 millimeter. Okay, now let's come over here, and what we want to do is we want to select that, lasso just that. If I was to come out here and lasso this, we'd be getting everything. We don't want to do that. Anytime you go from the left, you have to enclose the entire object for it to be selected. Okay. So now we just got that selected. Right click, make group. And come over here and we're going to call this our platform. Hit your plus and type in platform. We've got to make groups out of this or it'll stick to something else, and we don't necessarily want things sticking together. If we want them to stick together, we'll make a group out of them. All right, come up to layer, see where it says platform, click on it. Now, to prove we just put that in there, turn it off, turn it back on, okay? Now, a minute ago you were hearing me explain about your axes. We're fixing to move this up the blue axes, okay? So here's what you want to do. Come over here with your selector tool, click it one time. Now, if you want to edit a group, you have to click it twice. See, now we can do something with this. We can pull it again, or we can do whatever. But if we want to move it, all we've got to do is select it. See it turn blue? Grab your move tool and grab a corner. Always work with corners, or at least a known place. You know, Sketchup shows you where the center of your lines are. Sometimes it's advantageous there, but for right now, click here. We're going to make this 30 feet high, so what we want to do is we want to start going up. Hit your up arrow button. All right. Now, once see how we're locked on that blue axis? It's very hard for me to pull it off of that. It will go straight up. All right. Type in, okay, 30 feet times 2 millimeters per foot, type in 60. Enter. Now look what's happened. We now have a platform that is 30 feet from here. Now it's fixing to get fun. Okay, let's click off of that. Everything's safe, nothing's sticky now. Let's grab our pencil tool, go from this corner. See, SketchUp tends to want to work on your axes. See how easy it just I have to actually pull it away to get it off of that axis. But in this case, it knows if I go up to this, let's go right here. Go to that corner. Be sure you go to that corner right there. All right. Now, your line is wanting you to keep drawing. Hit your escape button. You can also go over and just hit the pencil tool again, and that'll turn it loose. Okay, that is going to tell us what line we want our post to go in. Okay, now watch this. If I come down here, we're going to make our post 3 millimeters square, which would be about an 18-inch post in real life. And I don't know if you'd really use one that big or not, but I tried doing it smaller, and it just does not print well in scale. You might get your rectangle tool, draw out 3, 3, which is 3 times 3. All right. See how it makes that for us? Now look at this. Let me show you how neat this is. If you tried to draw out all of these angles and use your rotate tool, oh, it would take you forever. But watch this. We have what we call a follow me tool. Oh, see these little flyouts? It'll tell you what it does. Click that. Well, first of all, you got to select this line because that's the path you want it to follow. Okay, see how it turned blue? Now, come to your follow me. All I got to do is click this and watch what happens. In fact, let me back out. Watch what's fixing to happen. Now, how easy was that? Look at this. We have, okay, but because we're working at an angle, we have a peculiar little problem right here. We got a gap right there, don't we? All right, show you how to deal with that. Before we make this a group, we don't have to double click it. All we got to do is take our push-pull tool and rest it. I'm getting close so you can see. Go right in here, click. And it comes up through, okay? See? Now click again and it stops. Now go over and get your select tool. Here's what you want to do. You want to select this right here. All right, right click, intersect faces with model. Boom. Now, here's where the power of this layer comes in. Let's go turn off our platform. Ah, look at this. See? Neat stuff, huh? Now, when we erase that, it only erases. Okay, see? It gets rid of what we want to get rid of. Get rid of all the little junk. Now, what you'll find a lot of times, it will open up the tube. Okay? Well, we really don't want that. So what you got to do, and you only have to do this on one side usually, go from that corner to that corner, and boom, we have our surface back. How easy was that? Okay, we got to do that down here as well. And even though this is not, this has no thickness to it, we can still select it. Right click, intersect faces with model. Okay, go turn surface off. See how it marked see how it made that mark around there? That keeps it. Otherwise, if I did this, instead of getting just that part down here, it would get the whole model. See? Stops that. All right, so we'll get rid of all those little trashy lines. Now, if you ever do this by mistake or something, Control Z is your friend. Boom. Click it and it'll undo your last action. All right, once again, we've got a hollow tube. Let's close that hollow tube in. Draw a pencil line from one end to the other. Okay, now you're going, well, you mean I got to do that 4 times? Well, guess what? No, you don't. Watch this. Let's turn our surface back on just so we can see what's going on. But we're going to turn our platform back on because we're going to need it. Watch this now. This is a cool feature. We use our measuring tool an awful lot. Go from that corner to that corner, and we get a guideline. Go from that corner to that corner, we get a guideline, but we also get where the center is, right here. Okay, now, before we do this, let's go back and turn our I almost left out a step. Take your selection thing and lasso this entire post. Okay? Now right click, make group. Go over here and let's make a layer. Hit your plus button and type in post, or whatever you want to call it. Go up here and assign that to post. Now let's prove we got all the parts in there. Turn the post off. All right. Now let's turn our platform and surface back on. Okay, now this is one cool tool that you've got to deal with. Go down here and select this post. We're going to move it. But what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it. The rotate tool and the move tool, you can move or rotate a copy. Okay? And to do that, look over there at the tool, and when I hit my control key, see that little plus that came up down right below my... Okay, that means we're going to move a copy. And we're going to move, because that protractor is blue, and if it's not blue, hit your up arrow key. That makes it be blue. But we want to go around that blue axis, and that's why that's blue. All right, get dead on that dot right there. Now, click one time, and you'll pull out a little string. Touch that line with it. See where it says on line? All right, click one time. Now watch what's going to happen. Okay, see how we're moving a copy? All right, you want to move that 90 degrees, but if it sort of wants to click to that next line. And if you look down here, you'll see 90, but you want that to say 90 degrees. Okay, you say, well, okay, that's just one. Yes, it is. But if we don't do anything else, all we got to do right now is type in times 3, because we want 3 copies. Even though we've got one copy over there, we want 3 in addition to the one that we're copying. Okay, so to hit times 3 and hit enter and watch. Is that cool or what? Now that quick, we have splayed legs and we have 4 of them, and all you had to do was make one. Now, in order to not be confused, let's go over here, get our select tool, click, and then go edit, delete guides. All right, just like that, we have got the main part of our base or stand or whatever you want to call that. All right, there's our platform, and we have splayed legs going up 30 feet. And we'll admire our work. I think probably, I don't want to get these lessons too long or these episodes to be too long. I tried to put the cross bracing on, but that turns us into about an hour show, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want you to lose concentration. If you're like me, I can't do but about 15 or 20 minutes at a time and keep my mind on something. But anyway, that's the beginning of our base. And in our next episode, we'll put the cross bracing on. Thanks for watching.